Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Newsweek, where we bring you up to speed with news making the headlines recently. Now, this week, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu announced that he has no plans to move the country's capital from Abuja to Lagos, his office says. The presidency blamed political opponents for such rumors, saying there is no iota of truth in them. Now, this followed the federal government's recent decision to relocate the Department of Banking Supervision of the Central Bank of Nigeria to Lagos and the directive of the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development to relocate the head office of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria back to Lagos. The presidency said it had decided to issue a statement to squash the rumors about relocating the capital, as mischief makers seemed bent on feeling needless ethnic mistrust. Now, joining me to discuss this is Nii Saliu, and of course, is a political analyst. Nii, good to have you on the show this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Now, the federal government's decision to move FAN back to Lagos from Abuja has sparked speculations about the capital moving to Lagos. Now, why would the decision in the aviation sector raise questions about the federal capital being relocated?
Well, it speaks to the fact that we're seeing a lot divided. There's a lot of people in the country who place parochial interest, ethnic interest, over and above that of national interest. Look, that's just an agency of government, and it happens every time. Right. If you're in the private sector, maybe some of our leaders, before they come to offices or responsibility, we should check, their pedigree and where they're coming from. Maybe some of these decisions that the government takes from time to time, would they'll be able to understand it better. Now, organizations, departments of government, agencies, even ministries will take decisions that makes logistics and administrative interest or sense to them. If the purpose that agency serves is in Lagos, why not? If CBN has the supervision department of CBN, in any case, most of the banks are in Lagos. What are they doing? Some of these agencies did not need to even move to Abuja in the first place. So if at any point in time, some people have come to office and they have seen no sense in relocating some of these agencies to Abuja, and they are taking the right decision of moving them back to where they will better serve the people and serve their purpose. I don't think it should generate the kind of noise or agitation it's generating now. Other than some people have vested interest in these agencies remaining in Abuja, where they are efficient, whether they are serving the purpose or not. So, as government, the duty of government should be continue to address, some of these issues and assure Nigerians that despite some of these parochial, agendas that some of us propagate, Nigeria is seen one very big united country, and the purpose of government is to serve all citizens, irrespective of their ethnic or religious, leaning. So it is not a problem. It shouldn't even generate this kind of controversy. What they have done is right. It makes logistics and strategic sense to the agency and to government. And I'm glad that despite all the bickerings, government has found the energy, the strength, and the political will to stand by the decision.
All right, now you just established something now that there is obviously division, and it's needless actually. Now, if the purpose of moving these departments is for strictly administrative purpose, why is there no proper orientation to get people to understand that this is for the development of the country and not for anything else?
See, except people have other interests other than the unity of this country, there shouldn't even be any agitation. They are now moving the ministry to Lagos. They are moving an agency of the ministry whose purpose is better served in Lagos. So Lagos, and it could even be anywhere in the country. Do you understand? For instance, if a part of NNPC has to be in Port Harcourt or Rivers State to serve the purpose for which it was established, so be it. There shouldn't be any major. What government is, even some of these things are internal. They are not national issues, except to serve notice to the people that have things to do with that agency or customers or stakeholders of that agency, and they have done so. It shouldn't bring about any argument, except that some people have some parochial interest or vested interest that they want to at all costs protect and preserve. Otherwise, it shouldn't be an issue. Any agency, look, even if you go to the argument, some agents of government are scattered everywhere that nobody is complaining. For instance, the Nigeria Defense Academy is in Kaduna. Is Kaduna the federal capital of Nigeria? But, government will take decisions from time to time that, in their consideration, better serves the purpose of the people. Or makes, at that point, makes logistic and strategic interest for the country. They will do it. If there's a part of the country that any of the agents of government should be located or sited, and it will make sense logistically and strategically for the country, no one should be able to complain about that if you consider ourselves one country and one united edifice.
All right, now Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Anonuga, said all those pushing this campaign of falsehood and misinformation know they are merely playing politics, albeit a dangerous one, to pit the North against the South, and that these decisions are taken purely for administrative purpose. Now, how do you think this particular issue can be contained because of this impression that is already being created?
Look, I agree with Bayo Anonuga on this. Government can only continue efforts on national orientation and, provide more information, especially to the people that have been misled into believing that it was taken for other reasons other than, administrative and strategic reasons. For some people who are determined, to remain, bigoted, parochial, you can't help them. And unfortunately, there are privileged people among us who should even know better. And they do this deliberately because of certain interest. If we go by the information in the social media, then it's really truly unfortunate that we have people who, because of one or two people, cronies or children, want to pitch, this country, our citizens against each other because of just a very simple administrative decision that government has taken. And they will continue to take it. Because as we go along, we will find things that we need to correct and with things we need to do. And I want to encourage government that they should not be deterred. Government needs to continue to show capacity and strength in taking major decisions, irrespective of whose source is God.
All right.
And this kind of decisions, people are the people that have held this country down in the last 30, 40 years.
All right, thank you.
So, government should not be afraid to take major decisions. That's why we elected them. And I commend President Bola Tinubu for this particular decision.
All right, let's move on to our next story. Now, and finally, a change of power has occurred in Kogi State. Usman Ododo, the new governor of Kogi State, took power this week. He has now made some appointments on his first day in office. Ododo, who was sworn in at the Muhammadu Buhari Mini Stadium, Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, on Saturday, made his first appointments during his inaugural speech. Now, the governor nominated some commissioners and other top aides. Now, some of those appointed served in the immediate past government of Yahaya Bello. They include Folashade Ayoade Arike, Kingsley Fanwo, and Didat Salami Uzigi, among others. Well, I still have Nii right here. Nii, very quickly, on his first day of office, the newly sworn-in Kogi Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo has appointed the cabinet members and other key aides. Now, what was your reaction to this news, first of all?
Well, first, I think it shows a man who is ready to hit the ground running.
All right.
And that's why sometimes, continuity is good. He's been part of government. He learned the ropes. And he just, I'm happy that he has done some things to show that, he's ready to move the state forward on the first day. I just want to encourage him to not totally entrench himself in the past. He said that he has found some people who have been in government who will continue to be useful and, support the development of Kogi State. Yes, it's good, but it can't totally move the entire cabinet from the last administration to this new one. There are a lot of people in Kogi State that deserves a chance to, to work for their government, to serve in the cabinet, and to also, be able to, show that they can do it. In any case, government too has a responsibility to grow new people and, develop new strength, new talent, so that they will be a good addition to government. But hey, if he has found that the people that around with Yabili for 8 years, are still useful. They still have things to contribute. Yes, he's welcome to do that. But I encourage him, to look a lot more inward and bring fresh blood, new people, and give them a chance to.
In your political students, now Governor Usman Ododo tells Yahaya Bello and others are already, as a matter of fact, tongues are already wagging that obviously the statement is looking like he might not be in total control of affairs in Kogi State, that Yahaya Bello might still have a certain level of influence in his government. I mean, do you want to flow with that narrative as well?
If I was these governors, it's good. For some people that have served in different capacities, they will understand the need to at least participate in the emergence of your successor. Sometimes you have worked too hard for a state, and you just want to see that legacy continues, and someone is there to push the development agenda forward. But you must be careful in doing that, so that you don't look to the people like you want to perpetuate yourself in government. It's a matter of time. History has taught us that some of these things don't last. And the case in Rivers State is a case in point that we should all learn from. People will take their own direction, their course, and this initial hobnobbing, except they continue to agree, may not last. So I just want to encourage that Governor Yahaya Bello should focus on his future and trust the man he has handed power to be able to, govern and take the right decisions. The man has learned the ropes, is his protege, and he should trust him to rise to the occasion. Some of these wranglings are not needed. And when you are leaving a place, just leave the place totally. The only thing you should do is to, provide advice where it is sought from you. Some of us listened to President Bola Tinubu's speech at the launch of Femi Adesina's book, when he said, look, President Muhammadu Buhari didn't look back. He just told him that, look, if you need me, I'm in Katsina, you can just talk to me. And that way, people are able to show, the stuff they are made of, and they're able to be their own men and are able to show the people that have elected them that they have elected people who are capable of running the state. You don't want an appendage of the former governor in the government house. So we should be careful in, this kind of handshake, so that we don't seem to be overbearing and, engage in things that will cause bickering. And, in the end, the people are the ultimate loser. I don't want to do that, especially at this time that everybody is agitated and people are, pressured for dividends of democracy to begin to start delivering to them.
All right.
So,
all right, Nii, very quickly, let's take this last question now. Having the party at the national level actually plays significant roles with state governance. So do you think Governor Usman Ododo would have a fair advantage to take Kogi to the next level in this regard?
I think he would. He's a man that has learned, the ropes. He's someone that served with Governor Yahaya Bello. Governor Yahaya Bello was a very good governor and a youthful governor, and he picked an equally youthful, successor to succeed him. And the man has a lot of energy from what I've seen of him. He is smart, and he will benefit from a lot of counsel from Yahaya Bello if there is no issue. And Kogi is largely a very peaceful state. I think that given the chance, he will do well, and he will show and convince the people of Kogi that is worthy of that position.
All right, thank you, Nii Sali, for your time this evening. Thank you for actually coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, and that's our show for today. Remember, you can follow the conversation on our social media platforms at TVC News NG or on our website at tvcnews.tv. I am Mark Otabo. Have a good evening.